Dirty Sports Podcast. I said, welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast with Andy, Ruther, and Joe Prano. Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast.
Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Andy Ruther, coming to you live from Cincinnati, Ohio, with my co-host from Port Hueneme, California, Joey No Chill Prano.
Hello, Andy.
Good morning to you, man.
Morning.
How you doing today?
I'm hanging in there. Just got back from a swim and quick shower. That's why I was a couple minutes late. Quick shower. And then I don't know if this happens to you. Do you get dry when you swim? You get very like the chlorine kind of dries you out.
Yeah, for sure.
So my wife's got the good moisturizer, you know. It's got the good. We have separate bathrooms, his and hers bathrooms. So I went to pop into her bathroom, grab some good lady moisturizer for my face. She was on the toilet pooping. She's like, "Get out! I'm pooping." I was like, "All right, relax. I've seen humans poop before. I live with Mikey. Poop with the door open."
Oh yeah, we're we're at the once you start having kids, you just like everybody's doors are open pooping.
Yeah.
It just like turns into a thing. Yeah, I get no, I feel the dryness though. I ain't like bad eczema now. Maybe I had eczema my whole life. I've just kind of realized this. I don't know. It just got worse when I got older.
We both have a little gray in our beard these days too. Gray beard gang.
Oh, little. Bro. I'm rocking it strong.
Well, you go like the full area. So you got your like chin patch that goes whatever. Mine's just like we're going sprinkle throughout the entire thing. I mean, really more patches of dark now than there are. I wish I was like full. Like I love the white. I'm trying to go full Roger Sterling here.
We'll be there.
Yeah.
But by the time you're about 2.5 years older than me, I'll be there. I hate it. I just there's always a request for the beard at home. So like the battle that I'm just like, okay, winter, you get it. That's it. But the girls like it too. I think it's just like a kid thing, you know, like to touch it. So it's like, but yeah, I like to look younger. And I think the fresh shave, but I don't hate, but like, dude, it's cold as shit here. So like, dude, when it's like now, when it's like teens and 5 degrees, and I'm like, dude, bring on the beard.
In low 80s here right now.
So
so the seats were clean at SoFi yesterday.
I was just gonna say there was no snow on the seats for SoFi, right?
No.
Sadly,
you know, we're not getting any moisture at all. I'm trying to go skiing. It's the first year I nutted up and bought an Icon pass, and we got no snow. Let's get some snow. Can you send some snow this way, Andy?
Sure, because we're stuck in it. They need to do a collab. Akon needs to do an Icon collab.
Akon and Icon?
It goes well, right? The Akon Icon pass.
I mean, Akon looks like a guy who is afraid of snow.
This is true.
He looks like one of those guys like, no, don't touch it.
I saw a great post. Speaking of guys afraid of snow, I saw a great post. I don't know if you saw this. Mac Hollins, Patriots wide receiver. Was he Patriots or Bills? Who's he play for?
Patriots.
Right, Patriots. He walked in. Did you see this? He walked into the game shirtless and barefoot.
Yeah. Oh, I did see that.
Like completely shirtless, barefoot. You know, he's just jacked. But I saw a funny social media post on it. The chick was like, just like, oh, he's such a badass. The chick was like, yo, I used to live next to him. He was scared of my golden retriever.
Yeah.
like, yo, dude was scared of my like the friendliest family dog ever.
That's peak black dude right there.
Oh, it's so peak black dude.
yo, we're gonna run into this house. We're gonna kill everybody. Unless there's a poodle. Then we're getting the fuck out of there.
Yeah. So yeah, they obviously had some shit weather up there. But yeah, we got to lead. We're gonna jump into it. Prano already alluded to it. We got to hop into this Cincinnati. I mean, I don't even know where to start. You know, it's this is a common theme. Nothing has changed. We talked about the snow. So just so you know, basically snow hit, because this is important. Snow hit Saturday night. The main snow was like, it literally started as sleet at like noon Saturday. It was done by 10 p.m. It was sleet, then it turned into snow. So like a fair amount, not a ton, but then the temperatures plummeted down to literally like 2 degrees. And that's why it was the coldest game at that stadium. We all know it wasn't the coldest in Cincinnati. Shout out to Walt, the Freezer Bowl.
Yeah.
It was the coldest at that stadium. I believe
I actually saw a tweet from somebody, speaking of Walt, who said they wouldn't let him bring cardboard in to put his feet on. Famously, Walt, with newspaper under his feet?
Yeah.
Too cold to drink beer?
Yeah, exactly, because the concrete.
They wouldn't let somebody bring cardboard in for their feet. They were like, no, you have to sit directly on the snow. Them's the rules.
Yeah, I saw that as well. So, quick timeline here before we jump into SeatGate here in Cincinnati. Like, the snow is done by 10 p.m. Is in like, I'm trying to gauge when I should shovel my driveway, knowing the temperatures are going to be so low. I'm like, then it's all going to freeze. Nobody's getting out of the driveway then. So basically, I went out at like 9:30 when it was almost done. I was like, I'm shoveling the snow now. I don't have a big driveway. You've seen my house. I'm like, I'm gonna shovel the snow now, as much as I don't want to on a Saturday. I'm gonna bang it out because it's all gonna freeze. Wake up. It's gonna be 2 degrees.
Oh, you did it in the evening, you're saying?
Yeah, I did it in the evening again because I'm following the timeline because I'm planning ahead, Bengals. I'm planning ahead. Now I didn't have a game at 1 p.m. the next day, so the Bengals literally did nothing. Apparently, they did nothing. In fact, let's look at some pictures. This is early on. Imagine this. They did nothing. People arrived, but it's not just snow. Again, it's ice. It's all the things. No, not that. I hate when it does this. Okay. Here we go. Prano. Sorry.
Jesus.
Jazel.
That's people. What's the timeline of that? And what time are they in the stadium?
They're here pretty early. We got. I mean, imagine if you went to dress as the Grinch. First of all, I question your mental. We talk about, mental illness. I question your mental illness to dress as the Grinch for a 4-9 team at the time to go in the snow. That's a whole other thing. But here's some ones where
Santa Claus certainly ain't coming to town for the 4-9 team. So I guess it fits. And listen, I got to say, I like the jackets. I mean, if it's going to be fucking cold as shit, I guess those are good jackets.
Yeah.
They don't look like they're waterproof, but
no,
maybe they are.
They definitely don't. So this is when like people are starting to arrive.
That's crazy, dude.
I mean, this is, I assume this is like an hour before kickoff. I mean, look at this. You can see it's not just snow; it is ice.
And basically, you were tasked with cleaning that off yourself?
Yeah. Basically, the Bengals, classic Bengals, claimed that, they removed, the walkway paths. The Bengals claimed seat aisles were prioritized and are in good shape. Seats are easily wiped off and ushers are equipped there to help. Bro, this isn't like an usher.
When you say seats are easily wiped off, by what? My hands?
Yeah.
It's 2 degrees out there. My sleeve, so now I'm wet for the day?
And these are lower bowl. Like these would have been, if they were good, more pricier seats. Now, technically, the league policy is that the field sidelines, aisleways, walkways, seats, everything should be removed.
So letter of the law, do they have to do the seats? Did they break the rules of the NFL?
Well, it's funny you say that because it looks like the NFL is having their back, and they're not going to do anything.
And here's the most important thing. Here's the most important thing when you're talking about the Bengals as an organization. Who cares what the rules are?
Yeah,
How about
exactly.
you just take care of people?
That's my thing.
We've seen it a million times in Green Bay, in Buffalo, in whatever, where they're like, Bills fans out this morning cleaning the seats. They get blah, blah, blah an hour. Not only do they get to go to the game, they're making money to go to the game. And then they interview the guys like, I bought 6 beers with the money. I gave my money back to the team. They gave me $60 for shoveling seats, and then I bought a bunch of beers with it. And you're like, cool, great. Also, don't they have just high-powered blowtorches? They're just
yeah. Well, that's what the Bills do. I guess they pay them, and it's not killer, but they pay them $20 an hour. And everything I've read, it's yeah, they'll throw them some perks. They'll throw them some things on top of the money. Just get your fans to do it.
And the fans kind of love it. I mean,
yeah.
But which we can talk about the slippery slope of cucks for billionaires. But the indentured servitude, this billionaire needs my help and he's going to pay me $20 an hour. You are you're borderline, being cucked, but being don't worry, I'll do it with my hand. Why should you do it? You have bigger problems like not putting together a good football team.
Yeah. So the league said this. The league's football operations and security department were in contact with the club and the stadium personnel over the previous 48 hours regarding the snow removal. This is just a lie right here. This is what the league said. The field sidelines, aisles, and walkways were prioritized and appropriately cleared throughout the weekend. Additional snowfall occurred overnight. Not true. It's just not true, which resulted in minimal accumulation within the stadium bowl.
Well, first of all, a couple things.
But let's pull it back up here. Minimal?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. First of all, 1, not minimal accumulation. 2, a lot of times it snows up to and including game time. Why are we acting like every other fan base and every other franchise doesn't figure out all right, well, we got 12 inches overnight. Bills fans are there shoveling the snow. Why are we pretending that doesn't happen?
I agree.
Well, those are the rules. You can only clean up until sunset the night before, and then anything happens overnight. Well, fuck it.
It's so embarrassing. And I'm sure people get sick of me, but nothing has changed. It's next level. I'll just say this because we do live in a social media age, and a lot of these things weren't prevalent even just 5-6 years ago. Now that they are now that Instagram and TikTok and I would argue things are even more popular than they were even just 5 or 6 years ago, right? Which is a fact. So why keep supporting it is my thing. It's guys, I know I say this time and time again. Why go? They fucking hate you, dude. And it doesn't just end there. Look at this, Prano. God damn it. Keep doing it. Look at this. They were out of hot chocolate at the game. No lid for drinks. The beers are freezing up because of the cold, but they ran out of hot chocolate. No lids. It was just one thing after another. Or this. Apparently the main escalator in the stadium broke down. That's one of the main ones.
Mm-hmm.
Listen,
there's a couple of no hot chocolate, no lids, ridiculous, the snow, whatever. I mean, I don't know anything about escalator mechanics and whether or not they're prepared to work in wet -2, but it is to I'm not giving them a pass or whatever. I'm just saying as a part of everything, it's ridiculous. But then there's also like, yeah, I don't know if those things are supposed to work in that.
In that kind of environment.
Yeah.
Fair enough on that. But look, you alluded to it, and I want to hop into that, like the whole cucks for billionaires, because I couldn't resist. Of course, I went into the Bengals Reddit, and there's so many fans being like, it's not that big of a deal. Just like you're saying, just wipe it off. What are they supposed to do? It snowed, and then the temperatures dropped, and what are they supposed to do? It's not. It is a big deal. We all know how expensive everything is in this economy. We all know how bad inflation is. We all know how every business, not just the sports team, should appreciate someone's business. You take the time and effort to go there. I expect a seat that's not covered in snow and ice. You're a cuck. You're the lowest level of lowest. Like, here's my thing with billionaires at this point. I think there's different tiers, and I want to kind of differentiate that right now. There's no worse tier billionaire than the Brown family, because he did nothing. He didn't innovate. You know, we can argue and discuss some of these other billionaires, and that's fine. But at the very least, like, Jeff Bezos created Amazon. Like, you might not like it and you might not like him. That's fine. And people are open to their opinions. Bill Gates created Microsoft. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are innovative things that people created to become billionaires. Now, I think people become billionaires also because they do sleazy stuff. We'd probably both agree on that. But my point is, they at least created something. They at least innovated something. What did fucking Mike Brown do? You did nothing. Your dad bought some equity into the Bengals in the 60s, and then he kept accruing more equity, and then he died in 1991, and you inherited the team, and you've done nothing. You've gotten the best stadium deal in the whole country. It's not even debatable. The city owns the stadium. The taxpayers like me pay for it. But you give nothing back. Like, you're the lowest form of billionaire. You've done nothing. You've done nothing to make the Bengals better. You've done nothing to improve the roster. You walked into two former number one draft pick, Heisman winning quarterbacks for a lot of your success. Only two years if you won playoff games with those guys. You've done nothing. And people are like, well, what are they supposed? Like, you're cucking for the lowest form billionaire. And I would challenge anybody for any sports team. Why? Why would you continue to? I see these videos of fans be like, yeah, it's pretty bad. You know, we got to step it up in the offseason. Why would they? Because you all go back. You all just go back and support them. Why? Why give anybody money who literally shits on your face? That's basically him taking a hot, steamy shit on your face when you show up to that game. And you make all the efforts to clear your driveway, to clear your car, to get the babysitter for the kids, whatever it is. He doesn't care. He literally doesn't care.
I'll say this, and this is only like a slight dig at Cincinnati. It's really more of a dig at just kind of sports fans in general. But when I was mid Mets rant last episode, you were like, let's be honest, you're still going to watch. And I was like, I've walked away before and I can walk away again. And the reason I can walk away again is because it's, you know, summer and it's spring and summer and early fall in California. I can surf. I can go to the beach. I can do all these things. And even like bettering myself, like I can go to the gym. I could read a book. There's a lot of things that I could do. I think that the truth is with a lot of sports fans, and certainly sports fans in these places that we talked about this with college football, college sports as well. You're in this place that doesn't have a pro sports team. You don't have whatever. You're in fucking Lincoln, Nebraska. You're in Cincinnati, Ohio. You're in whatever. Like, what are you going to do? And now you could counter. Well, they could go to the gym too. They could read a book too. They could whatever. But it's like, you know what? The people that cuck for billionaires, they're actually not doing either of those things.
Yeah.
They are the guys who want to sit around and watch football. And so the idea of putting that aside they're like, well, then what do I have?
Well, look,
If I don't have to sit on my couch, drink beer, watch football, what do I have?
I agree with you. Obviously, like where you live matters, and there's going to be way more options, especially in a place like California where the weather is like that. There's no disagreement with that. But I would say this as well, to my point. I said this to you before the show. A lot of times we're bonded to sports teams, we're bonded to athletes, whatever it is, because of nostalgia of our childhood. I'm a prime example. I went to game 1 of the 90 World Series. Reds won. Still my best sports memory, right? So I always have that connection with the Cincinnati Reds, even though Mr. Where are you going to go? And I haven't been to a game in 4 years, yada, yada, yada. I'll still have that. What's that memory for Bengals fans? But that's true. What's the memory? My earliest memory is the season where they lost in the Super Bowl. That's my earliest memory. I was a first grader. Like, what's tying you to an organization that basically my whole life, 91, man. I turned 10 at the end of 91. I remember all the 90s, bro. How bad it was. They didn't make a playoff appearance from 91 until 2006. 15 years. I remember all that, Joe. Like I'll just be honest. Like Justin, what's keeping you, dude? What the fuck's keeping you? Why? I scratch my head with some of these sports fans. 2 Super Bowls in,
and then to hide behind like loyalty or whatever, it's like you're an abused housewife. Well, he loves me. And it's like,
analogy.
Does he? He won't wipe off the goddamn seats for you.
Yeah. And that's the analogy I've always used here. I always say you're the woman who's abused, whether it's physically or emotionally or both, by your significant other, and you blame yourself. Battered wife syndrome. I'll say this because I'm sure you hear this as well. Like people have discussions about family, and they always say blood is thicker than water, but it's like, and I know you've gone through some things with your brother. It's like, dude, if somebody was consistently a piece of shit and just did things year, every but then is cool to you 2 out of 35 years. I don't care if they're my brother or my dad or my sister. I don't want you in my fucking life, man. That's what's fascinating to me is I come back to the question of why. And again, there is a difference on teams that try and then just miss and swing and miss. I think that was the Cubs for a long time, right? They consistently try, Prano, and they swing and they miss. And you're like, dude, they're trying. They're just not. There's no trying here. From the roster to cleaning off the snow for the fans, there's as little trying as possible. So why care? That's my thing. Why? I don't know. I would love, and I got some DMs from Bengals fans. Like, guys, I guess if you're younger, you did taste a little success, but you know all the history. And we've had these calls right up from I remember Bears fans or whoever. It's like at some point you just go, no, man. You talk about what are they going to do? I don't. There's a lot of good football. I enjoyed a lot of football yesterday. It wasn't Bengals football. I enjoyed a lot of good football.
Well, that's the pivot to the conversation about the roster and the state of the team itself. Maybe they are trying with the roster. It turns out Joe Burrow needs his 2 wide receivers, his 3 wide receivers, and his tight end. Turns out if you just have one arguably best receiver in football, you're going to score 0 points. So it turns out I was wrong and Bengals fans were right. Fuck the offensive line. Fuck the defense. Fuck the running game. We can't score any points unless Joe Burrow has 2 elite receivers and a tight end. 0 points. 0. The people. And by the way, I mean, if you want to know anything about the delusion that you're talking about, these people, the people that are saying, I'll wipe my own seat. We're also like, listen, we're not out of it yet. We just got to beat the Ravens. Just got to beat the Ravens. Guys, you don't beat anybody.
Well, they did just beat the Ravens.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, look, no, I agree. I thought it was insane, and I hate to keep harping on it. I hate to keep taking digs at you, Justin, but I have to.
I mean, kick a man while he's down.
I have to laugh. Because I went back to my old text. We had bet $100 on the Bengals winning the division this year. Justin sent me some text.
Just straight up, too, because Justin's insane.
Straight up.
And hates money.
Justin sent me some text. I was looking at him before we went live today. On August 5th, it was an Instagram video of the Bengals' first-round draft pick from Texas A&M, Shamar Stewart. A practice video of him in training camp. And Justin was so geeked. And I was like, are we really? I write back verbatim. Are we really doing this? ? Instant follow back. Are we really sending videos of practice? And he's like, oh, like he's geeked about him in practice. That Justin agreed. I said, then up the bet. To up our bet from $100 to $200, the Bengals win the division. And Justin shot me back a handshake emoji. And for those of you who probably don't know, because who gives a fuck about Shamar Stewart, here's some quick background. They say he was one of the worst picks in this year's draft. He had 4.5 sacks in, I believe, 3 years at Texas A&M. They're all basing it on potential. They're going, well, why are you drafting a guy on potential? Oh, Bengals fans are going, he's got a great vertical, high jump. So anyway, fast forward to now. I'll just pull up a screenshot of Shamar Stewart.
That's not a bad game.
This is his entire season.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He's an edge rusher. He's played in 5 games for the Bengals. So he's missed the other 9. He has 2 solo tackles, 0 sacks, 0 forced fumbles, 0 interceptions, and he has 4 assisted tackles on the entire season. And again, Justin was basing this bet on what he saw in practice.
To be fair, he's splitting his time from playing football and doing old dirty bastard cosplay at parties.
You know what I love about the pick? Right now, I'll pull this back up. He looks surprised.
Yeah.
Even he's like, yo, they drafted me. Everybody said I was like a 2nd or 3rd round pick. They drafted me at 17th. It's unbelievable. But it's true. But like, I hate to say it, Justin. I know I'm really kicking you. But like, that's the mindset that they're banking on.
Don't worry, he won't hear this for hours. He slept under the bar of Thunderbird last night in the Joe Flacco jersey.
But Prater, you and I know this, right? Like when I say they, like I'm not just talking about Bengals fans. I'm talking about like just NFL fans. And again, to their credit for marketing, they're banking on you saw a video of a guy in training camp, and now you're like ready to run through a wall.
I have my training camp theory is always, guys, whatever's happening at training camp is also happening to your team. It's like Jalen Hurts went 7 for 7 in practice day. Sounds like your defense is gonna suck. Like, what are you talking about? It's playing against your own team.
Yeah, I don't know. It's all crazy to me. My advice to everybody out there, again, if you like sports, and you do because you're listening to this show, there were great games, and let's talk about them yesterday. There were great games, man. There wasn't a great game in Cincinnati. There was a great game in Buffalo, or I'm sorry, in New England with Buffalo. Like, that was a fun game. Watch out for them Bills, bro.
It's that game and the Ravens game that opened the season are the ones where I'm like, I'm still on Buffalo.
Yeah.
Because regardless of the defense, you know, just having the Josh Allen factor, you know, we are in and obviously we'll get to Mahomes, but we are in like a Mahomes-like moment with Josh Allen where he's finally hit a space where it's like, you're really not out of it. You're really kind of never out of it. And that is it's a great situation to be in as a football team, not just the reality of it, but the mental state of it. Like being like, cool. I mean, we saw that throughout Brady's career too. It's like the sideline. We've now all seen the NFL films of, the Falcons Super Bowl. They never thought it was over because they were like, well, we have Tom Brady.
Let me ask you this though, because obviously I had the game on yesterday. Did you I didn't think when they were down 21-0 on the road, I thought, okay, they'll put up a fight. I didn't foresee. You talk about he's entered that Brady or Mahomes era. I didn't see that though, man.
I think at one point it was 24-7.
Correct.
And I was like, here we go. This is going to be a football game. That was when I was like, okay, it's football game time.
I think those two wins, I'm glad you brought up the Baltimore one. I actually forgot about that. I think when you're down on games like that and you come back, I think that bodes better for you in the playoffs. I know this sounds crazy than just whooping a team's ass.
Yeah.
Because then you mentally know, hey, we're never out of this game no matter what happens.
Yeah. And it also just feels like the Bills were on the reverse of some of those games before. Remember that, the game, the playoff game against the Chiefs? It's like now we're out doing this to other teams. I got to say, I mean, who do you believe in the AFC more than the Bills right now? It's hard to say.
No one.
It's hard to say the Patriots, but here's the other thing. The Patriots, beating the Bills and playing that game against the Bills, I think I do have the Patriots second.
Yeah, I don't hate that.
Buffalo fans are probably, screaming at their podcast player right now.
Broncos fans?
That's what I said. What did I say?
Buffalo.
Oh, Broncos fans. Yeah. And that's fine. You can do that. And I'll say this for Broncos fans. I'm way more impressed with the Broncos than I thought I'd be. I'm still not a believer per se. Doesn't mean I don't think that you could play in an AFC championship game, because the way the seeding falls, maybe you don't have to play either one of those teams until the AFC championship game. We'll see, depending on how the seeding falls. But I like both those teams more than the Broncos, and I like the quarterbacks more than the Broncos. I'll say I certainly like the Patriots coach more than the Broncos. You could coin toss the Bills coach, but I mean, Josh Allen versus Bo Nix, there's a much wider gap than there is between McDermott and Sean Payton. But obviously defense, you can't argue that the Broncos have the best defense of the three. It's crazy. I mean, we talk coach, quarterback, defense, right? Of those three teams, the Buffalo Bills have the clear best quarterback.
Yeah.
The Patriots have the clear best coach.
Correct.
And the Broncos have the clear best defense.
Yeah.
So it's wild, but those are the teams from the AFC that I believe in.
Okay. Well, let's hop into a team. We got. I'm not gonna play the whole call. Homeboy was drunk. We got a very drunk call from a Texans fan.
Okay.
Saturday, because I want to enter them into the equation here as we're talking AFC.
Hey, it's Luke from Houston. I hope this call is more clear than the last one I left when I was trying to congratulate Joe for getting married, and I just left that shitty-ass fucking call. Anyway.
Oh, by the way, Homeboy's been stewing on this for 5 months. Luke, it'll be okay.
Hey, so I'm fucking hype about the Texans this year. I think we have a decent shot for whatever reason because of how fucking good our defense is. Holy fuck. and the AFC's kind of wide open. I mean, obviously, I'm scared of the Bills, but we beat them this year. And everyone else, it's like, I'm not fucking scared of the Patriots. I'm not that fucking scared of, like, I know the Broncos are kind of a similar version of us, but Bo Nix, I'm not fucking scared of Bo Nix. But anyway, all right, here's my fucking question. So, I like the way our team is built, but I'm a Texans fan. We've never made the AFC Championship. At what point do I look at our franchise and think we're like the fucking Cleveland Browns? I know we started as a new franchise in 2001 or whatever the fuck it was. It gives us some grace. So we're not a historically bad
I'll be honest. He's like hammered.
Yeah.
And he goes on and on. So, but you get the gist.
Let me just say this about the Texans. Be hyped about the Texans.
Yeah, I agree.
Your defense is great.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think when you have a defense like that, especially defense is travel. Defense is travel better than offenses. And when you talk about right now, you're the 7 seed. You'd be going to New England week 1 of the playoffs. Do I think that you would beat New England? No. Do I think you could beat New England? Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
Because what if it's fucking -5 there and snowing and you got a defense? Yes. I would say this. You in the first round and maybe even 2 rounds of the playoffs could potentially steal some wins from some teams because your defense is that good. And I think that CJ Stroud is fine. But I don't see the Texans winning 4 playoff games.
But to be fair, he was just talking about just getting the AFC Championship.
Okay. Like it could happen. I like those other 3 teams more than you, but I would say I like the Broncos similarly to how I like the Texans. I like the Patriots and the Bills more than both those teams.
Look, your defense is great, man, and you should be turned. And look, you got the Raiders this week. If you're a Texans fan, your goal is to win that division. Your goal is to knock Jacksonville off. I see they don't play each other again, but your goal is to win the rest of your games. Hope Jacksonville falters. I don't know if Jacksonville would have to lose 2 games to win the division. I don't know, where it's at. You're in a good spot though. The Jags still have at the Broncos, at the Colts. So like starting this week at the Broncos. So you handle business against the Raiders, which you should. And if the Jags lose to the Broncos, which is obviously a very likely possibility, then you got the same division, or you get the same overall record. As far as don't sell yourself short. I get you've been around for, David, 25 years now, but look, you got a new coach, relatively new quarterback. You've won a playoff game the last 2 years.
Let me
don't compare yourself to the Browns. Is what I'm saying.
Let me tackle Texans history. You guys were expansion franchise. Immediately, I would say
in Peyton Manning's division.
Yeah. Immediately, I would say 5 years, but really like 7 years. Like it doesn't count. It doesn't count. Win games, build a fan base. Doesn't matter. Okay. How long have they been around total?
Let me see. 2002 was their first season.
Okay. So we're 23 years.
Yeah.
Okay. So a third of that, literally a third of that, immediately doesn't count. So you're already at like you only have 15 years of like quote unquote failure that you really need to be concerned with. Now, you made some bad decisions. Take the Bill O'Brien era, add that to the other thing. You shouldn't have done it. It was stupid. He didn't win double-digit wins in college. It was reckless. Never should have happened. I raged on this show repeatedly. It was stupid. You were clowns. It was an embarrassment. That's really the era of the Texans that you should be concerned with. But it's over. It's over. You landed a franchise quarterback. It went sideways. And then not only did it go sideways, it turned all the way over and asked for a hand job. So you got that. You've had some tough goes.
Yeah.
But comparing yourself to the Browns is insane.
It's reckless.
Not just on the timeline of how long this has been going, but here's the difference between the Texans and the Browns. The Browns signed Deshaun Watson.
Yeah. To a record deal.
Yeah. So you've got a good coach. You've got a great defense. You've got a quarterback who, in my opinion, and listen, I've never been full all the way. I've head first onto the, CJ Stroud Island solely because, again, I have a big school quarterback, OSU in particular theory. But I think he is a guy who, during his career, could have one of those magical runs.
Yeah.
Could put together again, could game manage his way to
Super Bowl
if your defense is good enough. He's got some weapons. I like, it's way too early to start being, you're not even the Bengals, let alone the Browns.
Well, that's what I was just looking at. I mean,
I don't even know who's worse at this point, but
I mean, that's like, I just looked, like you said, you got to give them basically a 7-year mulligan. They've won 6 playoff games as a franchise, and all 6 in the last 15 years. They're basically consistently making the playoffs. You're look at it this way, man. You've won more playoff games since you started than the Bengals have in the last 35 years. So, like, you've won way more playoff games than the Browns in the last 35 years. So, like don't even put yourself on the Browns level. And you said it best. The guy that you guys kicked to the curb wisely, the Browns opened their arms to and said, "Do you want the biggest deal ever?" And you should be excited. And like I said, I think the goal is to win that division.
now with that's an easy pivot to, what do we think of the Jags? I mean, the idea that we're going to take a call as somebody who believes in the Texans, I'd say I believe in the Texans more than the Jags right now, but that might not be fair. The Jags, I picked the Jets yesterday. The Jags fucking looked fantastic.
Yeah, I picked the Jets too. I'm not sold on the Jags.
Okay. Okay. Now listen, we always have to clarify on the show, what does sold mean?
It means this. If you put a gun to my head and said, you have to take either the Texans or the Jags making it farther in the playoffs, you can only pick one. I'm not even hesitating, and I'm saying Texans.
I agree with that, but
without hesitation.
I agree with that, but my argument would be, why?
Why?
We're not sure that Liam Cohen, I mean,
here's why. I'll tell you why. The Texans defense is so much better. Texans defense is great. It's the number 1 ranked defense, points per game, yards per game. I trust CJ Stroud more. Like you said, he's not gonna I
don't know if I trust CJ Stroud more.
Okay, I do. In the playoffs, I do.
But I might trust him to be able to do it with what the Texans are doing defensively then.
And that's my point. I trust him more on his team. I think Trevor Lawrence can get reckless. I just look, not to nitpick, but I will. This is what we do. It's why we have a show. Who is the Jags beaten? I'm just saying, like, their good wins are, they beat the Texans early on. They won at San Francisco. They beat the Chiefs, who we all know now are like not good this year. They're mid. They lost to the Seahawks. They lost to the Rams.
Beat
lost
the Niners.
Okay, they whooped the Chargers. That's their best win.
They beat the Niners.
They did, no, but their best
they beat
win
the Chargers bad. Yeah.
is that Chargers game.
Yeah.
They lost to the Bengals. I'm just saying. I don't know. I have way more faith in the Texans.
You have the least faith in the AFC in whoever comes out of the AFC North. Correct?
Pending matchup, yeah, most likely.
And then after that, the Jags or the Chargers?
Jags.
Okay. Then the Chargers, then the Texans, Broncos.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm like you. I'm Team Bills right now. Then we'll put the Patriots after them. Even that's tough for me, just because Drake May's.
Well, the great thing about being
game.
a football fan right now, and if you're like for example, if you're the fan of the Bengals, you should just stop thinking about the Bengals and watch great football. Is as much as I'm in on the Bills could absolutely lose to a Texans team. The Bills could absolutely.
Well, they already did this year and last year.
No, I know, but I'm saying in a playoff game.
Yeah.
Because I think it's wide open regardless. To me, the AFC is way more wide open than the NFC.
I totally agree. And here's some wild stats to back it up. I'm sure you saw these. And for people who didn't, this is the first NFL playoffs since '98. Damn, we're almost going back 30 years. That won't include Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, or Patrick Mahomes. Like, that's insane. Since '98.
It's wild.
And obviously, Chiefs are out. They're done. Just for clarification to Chris Jones, you are out of the playoffs. I know he struggled and didn't know that. I don't know if you saw that.
I did not see that.
Which, not a good look for the coaching staff.
Nah, I don't care.
You think?
Lawrence
I just
Taylor
think,
didn't know who was in his division.
Who?
Lawrence Taylor didn't know who was in his division.
Lawrence Taylor was also addicted to crack.
Yeah. Have you seen that clip of him talking about Phil Simms? And like Phil Simms being like, yo, if we beat this team, and then then we'll win the division. He's like, who's in our division?
That's hilarious. I've never seen that.
Yeah. He's like, you didn't realize that we play two teams. We play certain teams twice a year. He's like, nah, I don't. He's like, what division are we in?
That's hilarious. Yeah, Chris Jones didn't know they were eliminated yesterday. A reporter was like, yeah, you're officially out. He's like,
well, listen, whether they were officially out or not, Patrick Mahomes is done. They were out. They were out either way.
Yeah.
They were out if they won that game.
Did you also see the thing on his injury, which is kind of eerie? And I know Brady's happened at the beginning of the year, but
yeah,
both Brady and Mahomes had 3 Super Bowls and then tore their ACLs in their 9th seasons.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is obviously Brady did it week 1 against the Chiefs.
Now, I've seen some people be like, what you just said. He did it early in the year, and Patrick Mahomes did it at the end of the year. Yeah, guess what? Patrick Mahomes didn't play his rookie year. Like, timing-wise, a game started, I'd love to see how close it is. Probably pretty goddamn close.
That's a good point.
And here's how you know. I almost tweeted this yesterday, but I was like, I'm not even starting. This is how you know. I know people hate Patrick Mahomes, but this is how you know they don't hate him.
Do they?
Yeah. It's weird. I've seen that, and I'll never really get the hate greatness thing, obviously. I like, it's rigged for the Chiefs. It's weird that they didn't rig this year for them. But like,
yeah, that middle market, middle of the country team, they rig it for.
Yeah. So many people are like, I'm just sick of the Chiefs. I'm like, I never get sick of greatness. Now, again, People be like, you hate Brady and the Pats. It's like, yeah, they also cheated and were dicks about it. And Boston fans are trash. But as proven, by the way, yesterday by if you go through the tweets coming out of Boston in the first half yesterday, epic. But if that had been LeBron, they'd have been like, well, here we go. Eliminated from the playoffs and faking an ACL tear.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, look, nobody. You shouldn't obviously want to see any sort of injury. Hopefully he's back next season. And they aren't done. A lot of people are like, "Oh, it's done." They just got to revamp that roster. I think Kelsey's done.
Should we talk? I feel like no one's talking about this. Is it time? And I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not in deep on the inner workings of the Kansas City Chiefs. Is it time for Eric Bieniemy to get a little bit of due? I know he wasn't calling the plays or whatever, but like the offense has been totally different since Eric Bieniemy was no longer there.
He fucking trailed off, huh? Okay. He was offensive coordinator. Last year was 2002.
22.
Sorry, 22. Dang, he's back to just being a running backs coach. You know that for the Bears?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I never know what to make of that, man.
I'm just saying. It was almost like they shifted their entire thing. You know, they became this like, okay, a little bit more defensive focus, lower scoring. Certainly, you know, Patrick Mahomes is a completely different quarterback. The wins and the, you know, Super Bowls, all that, that never went away. But the deep passing and the explosiveness of their offense. And here's the thing. I know he wasn't calling the plays and whatever, but like football's a weird game where it's like, you know, I don't know.
So they have dropped off a lot.
I know.
So I just pulled it up real quick. So Bieniemy was the OC 2018 to 2022. Their points per game goes from 35, 28, 29, 28, 29. And the first year he's not there, big drop off down to 21. Last year, 22. Now they did. Now to be fair, they did win the Super Bowl that year in 23.
I know. I'm not. That's what I just said. I'm just saying from an offensive only standpoint.
Yeah, it's a huge drop off.
Causation is not correlation, but
I don't know.
You know, it did feel like of all the things, people were like, why doesn't he get an offensive coordinator job? Why can't he be the head coach of a football team? Why can't? And they're like, well, he doesn't call the plays. I'm like, well, Bobby fucking Callahan or whatever didn't even fucking, he didn't call the plays either.
Yeah.
Now the Titans, there's only one Titans. There's only one, you know, there's only so many disaster franchises that are like, he doesn't call the plays and he stinks. But like, it feels like at the very least, Robert Saleh is back as the defensive coordinator for the Niners, correct?
Yeah.
Why didn't they bring Eric Bieniemy back to be the offensive coordinator there?
Maybe they will.
Matt Nagy, we can't get rid of Matt Nagy.
Maybe they will.
How many offensive geniuses have fucking been terrible every single place they went offensively? You talk about retreads. Maybe next year, instead of having Matt Nagy as their offense coordinator, instead of going with Eric Bieniemy, they'll go with Jason Garrett.
Oh my God. And he didn't get his ass off Sunday Night Football. Guy's insufferable. Well, at least there'll be no more Taylor Swift, I think, after this year. It's been pretty quiet from his wife, though. Did they just have another kid?
Who? Brittany Mahomes?
Yeah. Haven't heard anything from his brother.
Yeah, I was also going to say, that when Eric Bieniemy and Jackson Mahomes left the sidelines, things drastically changed. I'd like to see
more TikTok dances.
I'd like to see the points per game before and after Jackson's last sideline TikTok dance. Football teams are crazy things. Chemistry is a delicate little thing. A little dash here and a little dash there. It goes a long way.
Yeah.
You can't make water without two hydrogens. You know what I mean? You can't just have one. You can't just be like HO.
I mean, obviously they were pretty much out of it, but like big injuries, man. Now that Micah Parsons thing is huge. That's a huge injury.
Yeah. Although I got to say that the Packers have just not been consistent enough for me. And I'm a guy who did I pick the Packers to go? Did we both pick the Packers to go to the Super Bowl?
We did. We both did.
Yeah. And I picked Packers Rams in the NFC Championship game, and now I'm regretting not going the other way for the Super Bowl. But they're just not consistent enough for me.
Yeah, I agree.
I could see the Packers making a run, but I don't believe in the Packers making a run. I believe in the Rams way more than the Packers.
Well, it's just even like yesterday, I'm like, you guys should win this game. Their defense just was too sus. Giving up too many points. I think we both like the Rams, though.
Yeah.
A lot. Got Stafford, give him that MVP. I think it's his. It's his to lose, I think. That would have been a huge MVP statement game yesterday for Drake May if they win that.
Yeah.
That would have been a huge MVP statement game.
Well, if Matt Stafford goes in as the 1 seed now with Devontae out, probably, I'm assuming, it's a hamstring, so it feels like they rest him the rest of the way or close to it because they'll potentially get a bye. So, with how many games left are there? 3?
3.
Yeah. So with 3 weeks left and potentially a bye, you get a hamstring. You can get a month rest on a hamstring. And if they go into the playoffs as the 1 seed, having sat him for a month, Matt Stafford's MVP.
Yeah. Can I say something about the Cowboys?
Yeah.
I'm just over it, man. I'm over it. I would love, you talk about wanting to see the numbers. I would love to see the numbers. Do the Cowboys really affect the ratings that much? I am so sick and tired of shitty Cowboys teams being on my TV during prime time. I'm so sick of it.
Oh, have you seen your Christmas Day schedule?
It's brutal. But I pulled this up last night. Of course, I had to go to our good friend ChatGPT on the Cowboys. I was surprised, but not surprised. Right? How many primetime games do the Cowboys have had the last 5 years?
The last 5 years total.
21 through 25.
30?
Damn near close. 28. I'm just like, we're giving the Dallas Cowboys 6 primetime games a year, a third of the schedule, basically.
And let me ask you something. Does midday on Thanksgiving count as a primetime game?
I had to specify it. What did I do? By the way, they lead the league. Joe, they lead the league.
Yeah.
The last 5 years. I think it might. But like, just listen to this. The last 5 years, the Cowboys, who've won nothing, not a goddamn thing, have 28. Chiefs have 26. Eagles have 25. Niners have 24. Bills have 23. But that's a legitimate question. And maybe they do. Maybe they do generate more views. I'm so sick. Like last night, especially for a guy like me who's like, okay, I watch the games during the day and I'm still, dealing with the kids and blah, 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 and all that. It's like Sunday night is my time to just sit back and watch a game, man. You're leaving me with Vikings Cowboys?
Well, you said, well, I don't know what your exact phrasing was, but I think it was, I'm sick of watching, do you say bad Cowboys teams? Shitty Cowboys teams?
Yeah,
I'm sick of watching mediocre Cowboys teams.
that's true. That's true. It's
I'm
almost
like, you're not even fucking bad. It's always, we fucking, we joked out 8-8 forever until the league went and ruined our 8-8 forever with their stupid extra game. Now it's 9-8 or 8-9 or 8-8-1 forever. 8-8-1 forever.
Yeah, I'm just sick of it, man. Like last night is a prime example. I get the importance of Jerry Jones to the league and what he's done, but also that's what I want to know. And they have to have the data. I get, but like, would it really affect that much if they were on less? Does it matter?
Here's the thing. There's no way last night's game does better because it's the Cowboys than if it's two potential playoff teams.
And that's what I'm saying. And that's how I feel. Now, maybe that's naive, but I think
But now you can't predict who's going to be a playoff team.
No, you can't.
But you can kind of predict it's not going to be the Cowboys because they never are.
But my point is, I think most football fans are like us. They want to see good teams, right? They want to see good teams or teams that are potentially going to make a deep run in the playoffs. Like that's not the Cowboys for the last 30 years. Again, no championship games since the Super Bowl run in the mid-90s. Like, what are we doing? Stop with this shit. I'm so over it, man. I'm so like, honestly, of all the things that I gripe about the NFL, that might be my number one. Like, might be my number one. I'm just sick of seeing the Cowboys. Dude, I'm like struggling to get the baby to sleep. Finally, she's asleep. I'm like, oh, let's watch a good game. Fucking 6-1 Cowboys.
Lose.
With Dak Prescott, most medium pizza quarterback ever. They're talking about MVP. They're talking about, I'm over the Cowboys. And then they go to Jerry Jones. I'm so sick of seeing his old fucking Tales from the Crypt ass in the suite with his douchebag grandkids and his son. Oh. Just picture
I'll tell you what Dak Prescott is. And I saw a commercial for it yesterday. And at the end, they were like, and it's only $19.99. I'm like, yeah, but who the fuck is ordering this? They're like, it's the Pizza Hut pizza box. 2 medium pizzas and cheesy bread, which is just the crust cut off pizzas with cheese from the pizza and sauce you could dunk from the pizza in. Basically, we're going to take 1 extra large pizza and we're going to put it in 3 different forms. We're going to shove it all in a holiday box and it's going to come to your house for just $19.99. And we're like, all right, that's Dak Prescott. Every year they try to dress up Dak Prescott.
That's so true.
Don't wait. Get the $19.99 Pizza Hut box. It's dog shit on dog shit on dog shit, but it's got Christmas ornaments on the 3-tiered box that you open like a file cabinet.
I'm seeing what their title in this.
It's cheesy bread, and then you can get a pie with cheese crust, and then you can get a pizza that's just crust and cheese and sauce.
3 courses, 1 festive box. The triple treat box, only $19.99. Yeah, it says.
Here's what they should do. If they really wanted to if Pizza Hut really wanted to go into 3-tier box, instead of dressing up all this shit as different shit, give me the 3-tiered box. Like, get a 3-tiered box. 1 box has crust. 1 box is just cheese, and the 3rd box is sauce. And then when your cheesy holiday crust sauce box arrives, just stomp on it and make your own pizza.
Yeah. It's 2 medium pizzas, breadsticks, and a dessert for $19.99. The triple treat box is back for the holidays.
Meanwhile, it's very Dak Prescott as well, where they're like $19.99 in limited areas. It's like I look it up, it's like $47.99. But if you live in Plano and you're watching Dak Prescott, the $19.99 holiday Pizza Hut box equivalent play, you're like, well, it's cheap here.
And that's so up, and that's how he plays. It's like, yeah, Dak might light it up against some shit team, and he's great.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, 100%.
But like, our joke forever has been like 2 medium pizzas, right? Why would you get 2 medium pizzas? Okay. Now if somebody goes, okay, let's just skip past that you do want 2 medium pizzas. Let's just assume you do. But I don't. And you're like, but let's say you do. I'm going to give you dessert. You're trying to sell me on this by offering me Pizza Hut dessert? Yes, and hear me out. We're going to give you breadsticks. Isn't breadsticks just another medium pizza without the cheese and out without the good part? A lot of people don't eat the crust part. You're just giving me the crust with some sauce on it. They're like, yeah. Look away from the fact that really we're just trying to sell you 2 medium pizzas. That's Dak Prescott. They are just trying to sell you 2 medium pizzas, and they're trying to convince you it's exciting.
Now, to be fair, it's a different brand. I will stand by the Domino's lava cakes.
Okay.
They're basically a brownie.
I'll also stand Pizza Hut dessert pizza at the buffet.
Oh, yeah. That's actually it. He really is the perfect analogy for the triple treat box.
And how are you going to feel after eating it? Sick.
Yeah. Oh, that's like the triple treat box must just do some serious numbers in my side of the country. All the fatties in Ohio are like, yeah, look at that. Triple treat box. I'm going to get that. I'm going to order that. It's 4 degrees. I'm not stepping outside my house.
And then they're like, why did I just eat all that gross shit and I'm still hungry? It's like, because you got 2 medium pizzas, you fucking moron. Are you an adult? The only reason I would get 2 medium pizzas is if I was playing fucking Edward Pizza Hands.
And I think that's my main gripe with the Cowboys is they haven't been exciting. Which is crazy because growing up, I used to love, dude, they were exciting, man. Now you're obviously a Giants fan, so you hate them. But like as a kid, but
here's how good the Cowboys were when I was a kid. Yes, I hated the Cowboys. Right? It was like I was a borderline half a Niners fan when I was a kid because I hated the Cowboys so much. And year in and year out, we had like a Niners-Cowboys rivalry.
Yeah.
So yes, I was like always rooting, but it was exciting. Niners-Cowboys, the 90s Niners-Cowboys rivalry was like,
it's great.
Honestly, peak NFL for me.
Yeah, it's pretty great. That's my point. Like even they've had some decent like regular season teams recently, the Cowboys. Nothing about this. You're right. It's because of Dak. Or just plug and place, some good receiver, not like great, like a Des Bryant, and then you go CeeDee Lamb or George Pickens, just Amari Cooper. It's like just put whoever in there. There's nothing sexy. Michael Irvin was fucking sexy, bro. Emmitt Smith was a beast. Defense was fun. You had Dion. I'm so over the Cowboys. How bad is Christmas Day? Who we got? Chiefs, Cowboys. Who else is playing?
Honestly, I think it's like, first of all, I think Chiefs Cowboys is a game, right?
No, they already played Thanksgiving.
Oh, they played on Thanksgiving. It's Chiefs, it's Cowboys. I think it's Lions, maybe. It's a bad football day. It's a bad football day, which is great for me as an NBA fan. I won't even.
Wow, it's bad. It's a 3-headed monster. Cowboys, Commanders.
Yeah, terrible.
Lions, Vikings.
Basically, just you're basically just watching to see if the Lions can maybe make a playoffs.
Broncos, Chiefs.
It's over.
Yeah, that's bad, man. That's real bad.
Now, listen, in a vacuum, that seems like a great football day, theoretically. But it's just not, and that's fine. And I'm so excited to not even have to really tune into it and watch the NBA because that's what the NFL gets. Stay the fuck off Christmas.
Now, did you see any of Phillip Fudge and Rivers?
I did. And I'll say this. Shout out to Phillip Rivers and the Indianapolis Colts. I went heavy on the under. I went heavy on the under. I believed in it. I believed in exactly what was going to happen. Play it close. Try to control the ball.
Play defense.
Don't turn it over. Play defense. Try to turn them over maybe. Try to contain Sam Darnold. And shout out to my dogs, the Indianapolis Colts, for fucking clock training.
Dude, that time when he stumbled and fell, I don't know if you saw in the pocket where he was just doing his drop, untouched, falls, runs up. Like, I was just like, oh, is that 40-year-old man.
Looked a lot better than I thought he would.
Yeah, he did.
But lost. And what are we talking about here? Now it's the Seahawks, but the Colts aren't making the playoffs.
No, I don't think so either. He's so full dad bod mode too. I just kept looking at him in the presser, even in his collar shirt. I was like, yo, you got my bod, bro. There's no muscle tone. You got some fat on your stomach. You're like me. You're not eating the best. You totally got dad bod.
Yeah. He's got granddad bod.
I saw a thing. It was pretty funny. I think they were trolling. I don't think they were being serious. I saw somebody posted. It was like, oh, he's actually brilliant. I guess you get your family gets medical benefits for 5 years.
Okay.
So they're like, he just
he
re-upped
played
it
long enough where he should get a pension, right? Also, he's a multi-fucking millionaire. What are we talking about?
$200 million.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I agree. That's what I'm saying. I think they were trolling. They're like, oh, he just re-upping that 5 more years. Rivers gonna come back to play every 5 years.
I just love that he kept being like Grandpa Rivers, 44 years old, has a grandchild. Indianapolis Colts with their first Mexican quarterback.
It is crazy because I'm like, you are my exact same age. The thought of I just kept picturing myself, the thought of dropping back to pass in Seattle. I can barely keep my eyes open with my kids playing in the basement. I'm just like, oh my God, how are you doing this? And then they saw that shot of his high school team that he just coached, all cheering. The Fudgers.
The Fudgers.
That should be their team nickname, the Fudgers. I mean, look, they were 13.5-point dogs.
Yeah.
That would have been so insane if they won. You think I would love to know the conversation he had with his wife before he did this.
I feel like she knew. I feel like this was the conversation of his wife. Baby. Yeah. So I've been thinking, she's like, just go. Just go. It's fine. Just go. I raised 10 kids without you. I'll be fine.
Was there
our children can raise our grandchildren while you're gone. It's fine.
What's crazy to me, there was no other options for the Colts. Nobody was out there.
That's what I said. To me, it feels like there's no way, but I guess you come in and learn the offense in a week. He was already running the offense at this high school or whatever. I guess. I don't know. But it's what do you have a practice squad for if that's not it?
Yeah.
But, I mean, it kind of worked. Like, I don't know what they have. I don't know what they have down the stretch. I don't think they make the playoffs just based on, like, I don't think he'll do a whole lot better than he did yesterday. But, yeah, they got Niners, Jaguars, Texans. Like, if they win one game, they're 9-8. They're not making the playoffs.
No. Definitely not. You would get to a few calls?
Sure.
All right, let's pull these up. Cut cam question. Hotline 859-832-0478.
What up, guys? I just had a quick cuck cam bylaw question. During the Eagles-Chargers game last night, the broadcast cut to some fans wearing Broncos jerseys. Obviously that's because, if the Eagles had beaten the Chargers, the Broncos' AFC West chances would, be way better. So I'm just curious because I kind of understand that one, actually. Or is it just cuck behavior? I don't know. I kind of go back and forth on it. Just curious what you guys think. All right.
What do you understand? This is the question. Like, it's the Eagles, Chargers. The Broncos aren't playing. Leave the Broncos jersey at home.
Let me just tell you the counter with this.
There's no counter.
No, not a counter to you. The counter programming that one should do instead of this. I am not a Dodger fan. At this point, kind of hate the Dodgers. Right? It's basically in a post Chase Utley world. I hate the Dodgers. I go to Dodgers games and root for the Dodgers, especially, and I'll do this. If I'm going to go to a Dodgers game that isn't Dodgers Mets, a lot of times I will specifically go to Dodgers Braves, Dodgers Phillies, because I'm like, now I can go and passionately root for the Dodgers, and because I'm rooting more so against the other team. And guess what? When I do that, I wear a Dodgers hat. Just go and root for the team. Like, you're not turning on the Broncos by throwing on some Philly gear. Now, terrible example because I don't think anybody wants to be confused for a Philly fan. They're like, oh, look at those poor guys. They can't read. But generally, the sentiment is if you want to root against a team, root for the other team.
Yeah. It's bizarre behavior, man. I don't know how many times we're going to say this. I'll never understand. It's just so weird. It's the analogy I always use is if you're invited to like a black tie event and you show up in a Hawaiian t-shirt and flip flops and you're like, what are you doing? Again, you're better off just wearing NFL gear. The generic
Rob Lowe.
Yeah, you're better off, man. Just do that. All right. Here's another one.
I love listening to Prano. Yeah, as passionate as he does about his Mets, but he dropped a little bit of lines there, and I'm disappointed in you, Ruther, because he was getting passionate, so he overlooked it. But you were sitting there patiently, even grabbed a sip of water at some point. And Prano was talking about legacy. Nobody cares about legacy. How you did not have Kevin Winslow queued up, it's all about legacy, yo. That would have been money right there. I don't know if it's because he got in a little bit of trouble, and by a little bit of trouble, I mean the raping. That could have probably been why. But, no. That was too legendary on the show to have not been a drop right there. But another show as always, man.
It's about legacy, yo. It's about legacy, yo.
I feel like we've played this 200 times since the raping.
Yeah, bro. I had no problem playing. Like, my thing is, if you're, and we already said going into the show, it's like, I'm going to let you do your thing on a rant. Like, here's the thing about a rant. I guess there is comedic effect to it, but sometimes you just let the rant, you know how it is, right? You just don't hop in. You're like, let someone's cooking, let them do their thing.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm in the kitchen whipping up a filet and I got my thing, just stay out of my business.
Yeah.
No, but trust me, I think we have fully addressed the raping of old women. There's no hesitation to play this.
It's about legacy, yo.
It's so crazy. Why did he say that? Still to this day.
Still to this day, it's insane.
Why did he say that? What legacy did he have? How much longer is he serving? How bad do you think his CT is?
Did we have? I'm trying to remember. Did we have him on via like phone?
Yeah, it was via phone. He was trying to make a comeback. Oh, he wasn't even sentenced that long, man. I mean, for what he did.
This country doesn't care about the old people. The
Oh,
elderly.
they don't. It was a 14-year prison sentence. This is an article from January.
It's pretty long. 14 years.
For raping old
No,
women?
I know. I'm just saying. I'm saying.
This is from January of last year. Or I'm sorry, this year. Oh, he did go with the old CTE route. So he was sentenced to 14 years in March of 21, convicted of sex crimes against 5 women. I mean, this is awful, right? To refresh you.
No, I remember. We don't need a refresher.
Okay. I mean, he raped an unconscious homeless woman, bro.
Yeah.
I forgot about the homeless part. But yeah, they used the brain stuff.
Yeah, they should have. It's definitely a factor.
All right, we also got a call for you here about your Mets.
Ugh, here we go. Should I stretch?
Tough one. Yeah, try to listen. It's not the best audio. I'm gonna play it. I know you're gonna have a reaction to this.
Joe Andy, Tony Gubas from Brooklyn. Listen, I've been a Mets fan my whole life. So losing
Real quick, he's been a Mets fan his whole life.
I got that.
Okay.
Yeah.
franchise guys like Alonso and Demo and Diaz and things, but let's not act like money is the problem here or the silver bullet. The Mets have had the first or second highest payroll for 5 years now, which outside of the Dodgers, the rest of the World Series champs, the Braves, the Astros, the Rangers, paid less for a team that achieved way more. And when you look at those handful of years, what did the Mets accomplish? They had one NLCS run and were otherwise an embarrassment. In 2022, I think it was, they choked away the division. They lost in pathetic fashion in the wild card. And then this past season, they went from the best team in the league in June to missing the playoffs entirely. So maybe, just maybe, this team and the culture needed a shakeup. Now, might they suck next year because of it? Sure. But let's stop acting like spending money is the silver bullet, because it wasn't for those other World Series winning programs. Condoms are for Crano's inability to ever admit he's wrong, especially after the Eagles Super Bowl. Joe Andy, Tony Gubas from Brooklyn. Listen, I've been a Mets fan my whole life. So losing.
Okay. So.
All right. So fellow Mets fan here.
All right. So let's.
He's countering what you're saying.
There's a lot of different things to tackle here. Spending the most money does not guarantee that you're going to win the World Series. Okay. But what spending the most money does is guarantee, if you spend it smartly, that you are going to be competitive consistently. The Dodgers haven't won the World Series every year that they've had the highest payroll. Yeah, you can point to the Braves. Yeah, you can point to the Texas Rangers. Okay? Yeah, you can point to the Houston Astros, which, by the way, was a freak occurrence that very famously Sports Illustrated was like the 2017 World Series Astros or whatever, because they didn't have a high payroll, and then they were loaded with young talent, and then they won World Series because they paid to keep a lot of those players. Okay? Jose Altuve still there. Don't forget when the Mets went crazy money and signed Justin Verlander and everybody said it was nuts. Guess who came calling the second he was available again? The Houston Astros. So spending the money in baseball is your only chance to be considered, oh, the Tampa Bay Rays. Where's the Cinderella Rays? Where were the Braves this year? Where were the Astros this year? Where are the Rangers this year? You go through all that run. You go through the Braves win. You go through the multiple of the Astros wins. You go through the Rangers win. Who was there the entire time? The Dodgers. The Dodgers were there the entire time because the Dodgers not only spend the most money, they spend the most money smartly. No one is saying the Mets didn't have holes. And I tweeted this yesterday. And this is a direct comparison. The New York Giants, specifically this year, if you could point to one reason that the New York Giants are bad, they cannot stop the run. They are a historically bad run defense. So if this offseason they traded or let go Jackson Dart, Malik Neighbors, and Cam Scatterbo, you'd be like, what the fuck does this have to do with the goddamn run defense? The Mets have holes. Their holes, guess what a major hole on the Mets was the last few years? How about DH? Eric Chavez went on Instagram the other day and was talking about how JD Martinez was a huge part of that 2024 run. Not enough people give credit. JD Martinez, the consistency, the veteran leadership, the whatever, and a DH. You want to address that Pete Alonso isn't the best defensive first baseman in baseball? Great. Address it. Get a better defensive first baseman. But he's sitting right there as your DH, ready to take money. So why don't you do that? The Mets have holes. The Mets' holes last year, if you want to talk about where the Mets had holes, the Mets bargain shopped at pitching last year. And they went on a historic run of budget pitching to start the year. And then some of those pitchers got hurt. Some of those pitchers fell off because they were pitching more innings than they were used to. Some of those pitchers, whatever. And then the Mets had a bad bullpen. But two guys in the Mets bullpen were good. Tyler Rogers, who they went out and got at the deadline, and Edwin Diaz, who's arguably the best closer in baseball. Both of those guys left, and they signed with two teams. The best two and far most consistent guys in the Mets bullpen at the end of the last year now play for the Dodgers and the Blue Jays. You think that's a coincidence? You think it's a coincidence that the Mets need to shake up their core and the teams that just made the World Series were like, cool, let's snatch some guys from your core? I didn't complain about Brandon Nimmo leaving, but you want to talk about what did this team win? What did any team win? What have the Yankees won? The Yankees should move on from Garrett Cole and Aaron Judge because they have high payrolls and they haven't won anything? The Toronto Blue Jays lost in 2025 to the Los Angeles Dodgers, who won the World Series. The Mets lost to the Los Angeles Dodgers in 2024, who won the World Series. The Dodgers should the Blue Jays should get rid of Vlad Guerrero Jr. because what is this team won? Oh, let's talk about this Blue Jays team. Sure, nice little Cinderella run to the 7th game of the World Series last year. But how about the year before that? They didn't even make the playoffs. All these guys, all this money. George Springer, Vlad Guerrero, all these guys, Bo Bichette, everybody thought they were going to be good. They had a couple good years, and they fell off and didn't make the World Series. Let Vlad go because he wants too many years? Don't be stupid. The Mets core, there's guys from the Mets core that were there last year. In 2024, by the way, this is how dumb it is. In 2024, the Mets made the NLCS. In 2025, they didn't. But they added Juan Soto. So the guy that stays, the guy that was added, and the team gets worse. Now, listen, I'm not criticizing Juan Soto. Of course, Juan Soto should be here forever. He's a great player. But if you're talking about, the team chemistry, well, team chemistry was fine in 2024. The Mets had holes going into this offseason. There's no doubt about that. But they created holes where they didn't have them. And more importantly, haven't plugged holes where they did. And the only way that you can do that is by spending money. The Mets fans who defended, the Mets signed Scherzer and signed Verlander. And then they gave away those guys and they paid the majority of their salaries. And in exchange, they got prospects. They got Luis Angel Acuna. They got these guys from those teams. And Mets fans were like, great. So we essentially took a shot on some guys, didn't work out, and then we ate their money and got prospects. You're right. That makes it a no-lose situation if you go, who cares if we lose money if one way or the other we get good players? We either get good veterans, they work out, or we get good prospects because we trade those veterans back to other teams and they don't work out. You're absolutely right. But pick a fucking lane. That's why the Mets payroll was high. They were paying guys not to play on their team that they traded for prospects. Pick a fucking lane. You are not going to win in baseball consistently unless you spend the money. The Mets had holes. They should have spent the money to fill those holes. They shouldn't have created more holes and not spent money to fill those holes. We still don't have a pitching staff. And now we need a first baseman and a DH. But they maybe got Polanco, who's Pete Staro's age, and they're going to teach him to play first base? I don't know.
So you disagree?
So that's for Tony Boombats, who condoms are for not admitting I was right.
New York Met crime right here. You got to upgrade too, my man. I appreciate the call, but you got to upgrade from Boost Cellular.
Yeah.
What you calling me?
Listen,
walkie-talkie?
Go ahead and spend the money. Go full Dodgers and
get that iPhone, fam.
Get Verizon.
Yeah, get that iPhone.
Stop trotting out a New York Mets Mint Mobile roster.
My boy's calling on one of my daughter's Paw Patrol walkie-talkies. Whatever happened to those things, by the way? What happened to those things?
The Nextels?
No, the Paw Patrol walkie-talkies in my
Oh,
house.
I don't know.
All the shit they buy, and then it just disappears. 310. Oh, no, that's the old one. 859-83.
832-0478.
Jeez, oh. RIP the old one. Give a shout, guys. Let us know what's going on. Yeah, I think that's it.
Come see a show. JoeParano.com. Lots of shows coming out. For you guys who are in, just going to throw some long ones out there. If you guys are in Tokyo, be there in February. If you're in Steamboat, Colorado, I'll be there in March 13th, 14th of March, I think. And then, of course, Irvine Improv, January 21st. Bunch of local stuff coming in around LA. We got another airliner show, I believe, on January 11th. 14th, January 14th could be. So, JoeParano.com for shows. Come see a show. Follow me on social media at Joe Parano.
Cool. All right, guys. We'll see you on Friday. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And as always, stay dirty.